Your first breath is half dust, half fur. Sightless, you fumble forward, guided only by warmth and the frantic thump of your own heart. Every nipple on your mother's belly is already occupied, so you wedge yourself between heavier siblings and earn a brief sip before another paw shoves your head aside. Welcome to the cave, stone walls, damp air, and a mother who must hunt a territory bigger than some cities just to keep milk flowing. Inside this murky nursery, there are no lullabies, only a silent math problem. Which cub survives the night and which doesn't? But dawn never asks whether you're ready. Without warning, your mother clamps your scruff, hoists you into daylight, and drops you in cold mud that smells like moss and fear. The forest pops with sound, crickets chirp, leaves hiss, and somewhere an unseen predator yowls. Lesson 1, silence. You fail instantly. One dry twig snaps under your paw, loud as a rifle shot. The rabbit she spent an hour stalking blasts away, and her glare feels like carved stone. Things escalate when a pack of wolves materializes, eyes glowing like coals. She steps forward, tail twitching, muscles tight as piano wire. A single leap, a throat clamp, and the boldest wolf stumbles back yelping. The rest retreat, casting poison dart stares over their shoulders. She doesn't gloat, she just leads you deeper into the trees as if saving your life were the day's first task on a very long list. And in her mind, your next lesson is already overdue. 6 weeks have passed. Your teeth sharpen, your legs lengthen, and the curriculum upgrades to Hunting 101. The rules sound simple: crouch low, step light, stay invisible, but your execution is a disaster. You waddle instead of stalk, wheeze instead of whisper, and sneeze at the worst possible moment. One rabbit after another evaporates into the underbrush, and humiliation weighs heavier than hunger. Then the tiny victories begin. A field mouse freezes at the wrong time. You pounce, and for the first time feel the electric jolt of success. A clueless lizard takes one step too many. You trap it beneath a paw and learn how triumph tastes: crunchy, gritty, but glorious. They're pocket-sized prizes, yet each one rewires your brain. Failure isn't permanent, and progress is measurable. Still, most juvenile pumas never make it past their first year. Starvation, rival predators, even disease lurk just outside every bush. You notice the shadows now, and they notice you. But the most dangerous shadow is one the forest didn't invent. Around 20 months, instinct screams, "Move out." Your mother's territory is now a no trespass zone, and she'll enforce it with fangs if necessary. You strike north, following a river until the water disappears beneath concrete. A 6-lane freeway roars in both directions, windshields flashing like sunlight off a knife. You've never seen anything move so fast. Cars don't stalk, they simply appear, then vanish. One miscalculated step would turn you into a shrug on the evening news. Urban legends about pumas navigating human sprawl are real enough. One cat sprinted across 2 mega highways outside Los Angeles and carved out a 9-square-mile kingdom inside a city park before a vehicle clipped his hip and ended his reign. That ghost now haunts a brand new overpass, an ecological lifeline of native grasses arching above freeway chaos so cats like you don't have to gamble with steel and asphalt. It opens soon, but tonight you're nowhere near it. You wait until midnight, heart hammering, and dash across in one grotesquely long leap that feels like it lasts an hour. Tires hiss a meter behind you, headlights paint your ribs white, and somehow you land on gravel alive. The forest on the other side feels older, quieter, and indifferent to your terror. Surviving the dash was the easy part. Finding land you can keep is the real test. Male pumas need space, 100 to 150 square miles, stitched together by ridgelines, ravines, and deer trails. Trouble is, every acre already belongs to someone bigger, meaner, or hungrier. Trespass and you'll feel claws before you hear the warning growl. Humans complicate things further. A recent ballot measure aimed at banning trophy hunts failed by a whisker, meaning bullets remain an occupational hazard. Hunters claim it's conservation, activists call it cruelty. You just want tomorrow's sunrise. Weeks pass in a blur of starvation naps, edible roots, and territorial smackdowns that leave your ears tattered and your morale thinner than your belly. Then one dawn you stumble upon an unloved stretch of hillside. Plenty of tree cover, 2 small watering holes, and no fresh puma scent. You scratch a trunk, spray a boulder, and claim the deed, hoping no prior landlord returns to dispute the paperwork. It's a fixer-upper, but it's yours. There's even a moss-covered log perfect for midday naps when you're too sore to stand. Owning land means defending land, and the threats don't wait for you to finish unpacking. Years spin by. Your shoulders broaden, your canines file themselves against bone, and you develop a general's patience. Hunting is now a resource management puzzle. Overwork one meadow and the deer migrate. Underwork it and a rival cat slips in for a free dinner. Intruders announce themselves with claw graffiti, fresh scat, or the unmistakable musk of a stranger. Sometimes bluffing is enough. You leave deeper scratch marks, roar into the wind, and trust intimidation. Other times a duel erupts, savage and silent except for the wet crack of muscle and the hiss of torn fur. Win, and you limp away with trophies of pain. Lose, and the forest erases your name by morning. Scavengers orbit your kills like debt collectors. Coyotes yip from a safe distance. Vultures swirl overhead. Even black bears saunter by, sniffing for leftovers. You fight when the calories justify the risk and yield when they don't. Energy is a currency. Spend it foolishly and the next drought might bankrupt you. So you ration aggression, study the wind, and perfect the disappearing act. One heartbeat you're there, the next you're part of the scenery. Mastering strategy keeps your body alive, but another threat is sneaking up on your bloodline itself. Hundreds of miles east, a cousin known as the Florida panther nearly vanished 3 decades ago. Inbreeding warped their spines, kinked their tails, and shrank their hearts. Side effects of being penned into swampy islands of habitat cut off by roads and subdivisions. Biologists airdropped a handful of West Texas cougars into the mix, a genetic rescue that rebooted the lineage and pulled the panther from the brink. It worked there, but isolated populations elsewhere aren't so lucky. Computer models suggest cougars will reclaim only slivers of their historic eastern range by the end of this century, unless humans build wild corridors and occasionally shuffle genetics like a deck of cards. You, of course, know none of this. But you sense it in subtler ways. Year after year, you detect fewer unfamiliar scents. The nightly chorus grows thinner. Every new scratch mark on your boundary belongs to a rival you've already met, as though the forest is running out of fresh faces. You can't label it inbreeding depression, yet some primal alarm tells you diversity itself is a form of strength, and that strength is dwindling. Still, genetic doom feels abstract compared to the killer waiting just beyond the tree line. Twilight drapes your range in blue shadows, hunger claws at your stomach. Then a rabbit appears on an oddly flat ribbon of ground, smooth, gray, and lined with fading yellow stripes. The little fool nibbles grass sprouting through cracks in the pavement, oblivious to the apex predator crouching 10 yards away. Perfect. You lower your belly, roll your shoulders, balance all your weight on silent paws. This time nothing will squeak, snap, or sneeze. You launch. Mid-air, the world erupts in a roar deep enough to rattle bone. Blinding lights blister your eyes. A metal beast hurtles toward you faster than anything you've ever seen. There's no sky, no earth, only headlights and a split-second realization that physics has out-hunted you. Impact. A hot flash of pain, then silence. More pumas now die beneath wheels than from hunger, rival predators, or old age combined. The rabbit hops away unharmed, vanishing into grass taller than its ears, while your heartbeat ticks its final beats against cooling asphalt. Your territory falls silent, ceded to the next drifter brave or desperate enough to claim it. But before night swallows the scene, remember this. As brutal as life is for a puma, there's an animal out there with even bleaker odds, born weaker, hunted harder, and still trapped inside humanity's machinery. Curious? The next story is only one click away, and it's wilder than anything claws alone can handle.